See, the challenge, this is where I think a lot of people struggle. And if you're an expert, okay, so if I go to Christy, I'm going to her because I have made up my own mind based on both qualitative and quantitative evidence and market research that she's an expert. She should be able to tell me, she should be able to say, look, Coach Burt, quit messing around, man. You told me you wanted to live in this subdivision, right? Like, what's holding you back? And I may say, Christy, there's just two things holding me back. There's just one thing holding me back. Now it's up to her to convince me that ain't a big thing. This is a little bitty thing. This is the only thing holding you back? Like, I know a person looking to live in a subdivision right now. He's got one objection. The objection is it's too far a drive for the kids. Like, his kids go to school over here and the subdivision's over here. And so I said, are you telling me that the drive is more important than the house? Because you told me that you wanted to live on a bigger lot. You told me you want to live here. I mean, surely to goodness, for 10 more minutes a day, right? And some people just fold right there. You know what they say? You're right. You're right. All they need to hear is a validating voice. So I may go back and forth with Christy, and she says, man, this is crazy, Coach Burt. You told me you wanted this, and I brought it to him. And I may go, you're right, Christy. Draw it up. You see how easy that was? But most agents won't do that. They won't see that. It's just a little, it's called creative tension. There's just a little bit of creative tension, which is a good thing. How many of y'all have ever taken action on something because there was a little creative tension in your life, right? Okay? I had a conversation with my wife in New York City. She thought I was going to propose to her in New York City. I was there to speak. Okay? I didn't realize, I'm slow, okay? I didn't realize that New York City would be a great place to propose, and you know what I'm saying. I just went there to speak, and she went with me, okay? She's thinking, what a beautiful city. Why can't you be more romantic? Why can't you see what I'm saying? And so we have this very heated discussion in New York City after I speak. I mean, it's very emotional and very, you know, she's crying, and I'm crying, and everybody's crying, and she's like, what are you waiting on? She's like, how long do we have to date? What more do you need to see? Right? And you know what I said? You're right. It took that one conversation. That was creative tension. Everybody with me? But the fear of loss. Yeah. But my point is, but here's my point. She needed to have that conversation with me like that. It wasn't like, hey, let's just talk about it. Let's keep talking about it. See, like, okay, Coach Burt. It was like, look, man, let's go.
Was that before or after the punch?
Yeah. It was after a couple glasses of wine on her part too. So, but my point is that creative tension, I would tell you, was a very good thing. I needed to hear that. I needed to get off the fence. Okay? I needed to move forward. I needed it. Now, did I like when I was going through it? No. Well, the same thing is true is these people are out there and they're looking for guidance. We don't know if this is going to be a good decision or not, right? But I came to you and I need you to tell me what you think I need to do because you're supposed to be an expert here. I don't need you to let me to control this. You're supposed to tell me, look, do this, do this, do this. So, you know, sometimes I go to 2 or 3 advisors if I'm trying to make a decision. And they will put up resistance to me if they don't think I should do something. And I listen to the counsel and then I make a decision. If all 3 of them go, then I typically go, right? If 2 of them say yes and 1 of them say no, I still go, But why do you think I go to them? Because I value their feedback. You see, this is the part where the real estate agent is the professional here. You know, you're studying the market. If I'm giving you some kind of myth and it cannot happen, you need to say, look, you're asking for fairy tale here. This is crazy. How do you think we can do this? Okay? So I just need you to understand that. So what questions do you have about just having, there's no science to this. I personally challenge people and I just try to reframe them as part of my follow-up. And I joke with them, and I say, we could have this talk today or we can have it 6 months from now. But you and I both know nothing's going to change until something changes. I give them a little push, okay? And I don't think that's too aggressive because I think sometimes they'll go, you're right. You're right. That's exactly what I need to hear.
So when you're reframing it, you kind of always do like a we, like you get in the club with them, like, you know, we can talk about this now or we can do it next year or whatever, or do you, you know, get more
Sometimes I get very blunt.
Yeah. It's just about practicing.
Like you came to me for a reason. Because you told me that you wanted to do this. More importantly, you told me how much you hated the current house you live in. That's why you came to me. Remember that? And how I listened to you whine for 6 months because you didn't like your crazy neighbor? Now, is it more important to you to stay there because you're a little afraid and live with that crazy neighbor, or more important that I put you in a new house? Which one's more important? You see these questions I ask people? These are very direct questions.
Sometimes I'll just go, I think I've been misunderstanding what you're trying to tell me. What I understood was you have a crazy neighbor, you need to leave because she's making you a crazy neighbor. So did I miss something in that?
That's a challenge.
And so that's how I do it, just
Yeah.
I put it back on me. Did I miss something?
That's a good way to do it.
And then they're like, no, you're right, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. So she's still challenging them. Hey, like, look, you told me that you had a crazy neighbor. Did I misunderstand something?
And say to them, because I always say to them, well, what I've been hearing you say is you have a crazy neighbor.
That's a good way of saying it.
Driving you crazy.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
are you okay with that?
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah. I guess since we're not moving forward, you're okay with
Yeah.
being crazy.
Remember last month?
Because you're making me crazy.
Yeah. Remember last month when it was the yard? You know, the yard. Did we make any progress on the one with the yard, by the way? Julie's was. You don't think she has? So the yard, you know, they love the house, but they hated the yard. So my question back to them, so you're telling me that the yard is more important than the house? Because can't we both agree that we're only going to spend 5% in the yard, 95% in the house? Sometimes just a little push, they'll go, you're right. Draw it up, let's go. They need validation from somebody. Okay? So during these 7 touches, I'm trying to get you to commit. It's what I'm trying to get you to do. And what I'm really selling is momentum. It's like, hey, we're losing momentum here. Right? And I'm trying to recapture that momentum because we were on fire for this and now we've cooled off some. My job is to keep you in a forward posture. That's the way I say it. My job is to keep you in a forward posture versus a defensive mindset. Okay? And then they may get scared. And then I'll tell stories. Like anytime I played not to lose in my life, it always guaranteed losing. Right? Anytime I play not to lose, it guarantees losing because I'm moving into a defensive position. Okay? This is ultimately what got Butch Jones fired at Tennessee, is because every time he would get up, he would move into a defensive posture. That means he would get up and start winning and then get scared. And when he got scared, he would pull his players into a defensive position. Everybody with me? A defensive, like trying to hold on to the win when the game wasn't over. Instead of just keep going, keep pushing. When you get up, you need to go on. You need to hit the gas pedal. You don't need to sit there and hit the brake because I'm afraid of losing something. It's just momentum. Everybody with me?
Sounds like the athletic director to me.
Yeah, that's another problem. But you see what I'm saying here is if you watch sports is about momentum. And people that are not confident begin to contract when they get scared. People that are confident push through that. You see the difference? So I tell people, look, I can feel you getting into a little bit defensive posture here. And my job is to keep you in a forward momentum. Because I'm bringing you the house you told me you wanted. And we're going to scratch and claw to get this puppy for you, right? And so that's what I feel like your job is, to kind of protect this momentum we got. So the 7 touches. So now let's say this. Let's say you're working with me and we go the 7 touches, and on touch number 7, I go, you're right. I'm not a laggard. I don't want to be a laggard, okay? I'm in. Now we're drawing up a contract. Okay? You're doing a great job. You have worked incredibly hard to get my business. Where is the highest point of energy? Right now. I'm in. I have committed to you. We are vested partners. We're in this boat together. Okay? From this point, from contract to close, is a very critical point. I call it the referral zone. Because we are in good, everything's good. Look, here's a philosophy I use. If you live with anybody long enough, you will find something you don't like about them. Okay? You will find something you don't like about them. Okay? So, during this honeymoon period here, we're on fire for each other, which is the perfect time for you to say, man, I love working with you. This is awesome. I love going to battle with you every day. who else do I need to be helping? See, this is where a lot of agents, they're doing a great job, but they're missing that one component. You should be saying, who else do I need to be helping? Man, this is awesome. Yes.
I like that idea, but also at the same time, once you get someone under contract, you have to talk about all the other things that have to happen. So for me, if I was the buyer and my agent just got me under contract and then all of a sudden she's like, hey, who else can I be working with? I'm like, isn't there all these other things that I need to be focusing on? Like, what do I need to sign? When do I need to turn this in? When do we do the inspection? I just feel like there's already a lot of things that happen at that point. Maybe asking for a referral, I feel like would seem weird.
Like you're just out for the business and not
Yeah.
taking care of them.
I think that,
Uh-huh.
I agree with what you're saying, Abby, but I'd say that when we have those big wins, when we successfully help our clients negotiate the terms that they want for the home inspection, or come up with a creative solution for closing that makes everybody happy, you know, you can ask at that point with all confidence.
And I'll add to that too. We had an agent with us once who, after her client would go under contract, she sent a cookie bouquet to her client. She had the cookie bouquet company make these little sold signs and put the Wilson Group logo on these cookies. And this is pre-recession. After the recession, people didn't do that so much.
Yeah.
And so all of her colleagues were like, oh my God, that's so cute. And so it was an automatic, my realtor and I just bought
Yeah.
this house. So they're going to call and thank you for the cookies. And then that's a great way, or whatever it may be, you know.
Yeah.
And hey, if you have any colleagues, friends who you think are as cool as you are, I'd love to work with them, or whatever
Yeah.
the verbiage might be.
So don't think of it as an awkward moment. Think of it as just we're having conversation with each other. It's in the beginning. Hey, I really love working with you. If there's somebody else you think we can help, you know, I'd love to help those folks. Don't make it awkward, like you're pinning them down and saying, hey, you got to give me 3 people. Okay, it should be natural. Who else do I need to be helping? Because I just think this is a very hot period here, from contract to close. We're moving. Everything's great. The anticipation is exciting. Everybody does realize what we're really selling is hype. You do realize that, right?
Absolutely.
Hype is where you're selling a future. You're selling anticipation. You're selling excitement of a future. Moving into a new house is anticipation. Oh, what would it be like living in this subdivision? What would it be like living in this house? You're selling hype. Right now, you're selling substance too. Because if you do what you said you're going to do, you're going to deliver. You're going to close that house. It's going to be a great experience. Now you sold the hype and the substance. Everybody follow me?
I just agree with you. I don't sell hype.
The hype is not you. The hype is a future.
I know, but it's so much more than that. Because if I felt that way about it, I don't think I could do it with
Yeah.
gusto.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're making a dream reality. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
Maybe hype's not the right word. So think of you're selling a future outcome. It's like,
We're selling a dream.
Yeah,
It's their
yeah.
dream to have this house.
yeah, don't focus on the word hype. Just focus on, let me ask you this question. What are they selling on Black Friday?
Now that is hype.
Because once you go shop on Black Friday, what is that?
Yeah.
It's miserable.
Yeah.
You ever gone shopping on after the day of Thanksgiving?
It's the
Or the night of Thanksgiving when everybody's at Target? I mean, it's crazy. What are they selling? Deals, opportunity, it's coming. Cyber Monday, it's coming, right? It's coming. The new house is coming. The new subdivision is coming. The new opportunity. So that's kind of what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're getting excited, man. You're selling momentum. Go back and watch the thing I did yesterday. It said you're selling momentum and you're selling energy. You're selling momentum and you're selling energy. You think you're selling a house. I think you're selling a future. Like this is a better future than where I'm at right now.
Okay.
It's an ideal outcome, okay? Now, let's say we close on this puppy, okay? How many people at this point maybe do a good job out of the gate but then completely fall out the wagon? Post-closing.
I'm good for the first month.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, they get their Christmas card.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple other things, but.
If they became
Not
friends
consistent.
during the process, I'm better.
Yeah.
If they became friends or like they're in my neighborhood, I'm better. Maybe because I run into them.
Yeah. Well, here's one method some people use. Day of, call the day of, congratulate, or see them obviously. Follow up 2 days after. follow up 2 weeks after, follow up 2 months after, and then find a way for there to be other human interaction back with you. I like the customer appreciation event where I can batch these people together. So everybody we've sold in the last 6 months, we're pushing people to some type of an event. We're trying to bring them in. Gives us a reason to call them. Hey, we love working with you. We're doing a big event to say thank you. I'd love for you to be at this. Some of the best people I coach do big quarterly events. And I'm seeing some of these people have 300 and 400 people at these customer appreciation events. Okay? Can you imagine the referrals when you're, right? One of the mortgage guys I work with, he had a big event, and I get home that night from the event, and I've already got an invitation to the next event sitting in the mailbox. So one was for couples, one was for the kids, right? And it's like this ongoing, it's like he's like every 3 months, he's pushing me something. I'm going to these events, I'm like, look at all these people. I'm like, how many referrals are you getting out of this? He's like, we're getting all kinds of referrals. So that's the human touch post-closing. So if you think of a 7-touch system post-closing, we've already looked at day of, 1, 2 days after 2, right? 2 weeks after 3, 2 months after 4. Once you get to that, it needs to be, I think there needs to be some way for you to get them back like this. How can I see your eyeballs? Okay, now I'm a big believer in if you want to do closing gifts, but I don't want you to think that post-closing gifts is going to make it all okay. Just sending them something afterward as a little gift is not going to make it okay. Okay, there's got to be a human touch in here. So I think you need to have at least 7 good touches after the sale, and then find a way to do something consistently. Okay, so Christy, what do you see some of the best agents do? Who's some of the best agents you've seen that you go, man, they're good at this after the deal?
Abby, I'm good.
Abby, what's your plan?
I don't really have a set plan. It just depends on.
Abby's brand new. She started in January.
I don't have a set plan. I just really listen to my clients throughout the whole transaction, so I know what their plans are for the house after we close, and I know, when they plan on doing things, so I'll follow up and be like, hey, I know you guys were working out the kitchen, how'd it go this weekend? And so I just find like those things to follow up with them on, and then they just become friends, and then I end up going over and seeing the changes they've done and all that kind of stuff. So I just make notes in my file about what they plan on doing after they move in.
Okay, good.
But no, so.
Good. All right, so when you're thinking about this, so let me ask you this. Is it worth the 5.7 referrals if you could get them to really get better at this to you? So if it's worth the 5.7 referrals after the transaction, that's how I really want you to start seeing this. I want you to think 6 more commission. If I do a great job, think of it this way. Every day with your current customer is an interview for your next customer. Every day with your current clients, an interview with your next client. The ultimate goal, in my opinion, is to get them to where they're one of your top 25s. Not everybody is going to end up in your top 25, but you're talking about the ones that you really like, and after the deal, you become friends with them. And imagine taking that little subgroup of people and you staying highly involved with them on a consistent basis. You love working with them. It was a great deal. They're great people. Ultimately, think about funneling them to a special group of people called your top 25s. Now, you're not going to want to work with some of the crazies after you get finished, okay? So you may say, look, that was a good deal, but I don't want to go down that path again. Okay? But there's going to be a certain group of people you go, man, this was awesome.
But keep those crazies in your database because you can refer them to a new agent.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And you can still take their referral.
That's right,
Their
exactly.
friends might not.
Yeah, absolutely. So you see what I'm saying here? So the touch system, it's not a science necessarily of what I see a lot of people do is automate this, and I think that's a mistake. Because the automation does not get me to refer. Because people get 200 or 300 emails a day now. So just getting an automated email with a thank you, okay, is just not enough to get me to go, I'm going to refer them. What I'm going to refer is when you and I have a human interaction with each other and it was really good and you created value and it reminds me of how good you were when we went through this process, right? And I think the best way to do it is get them back in some type of group environment. You know, I always thought that getting on a person's property if they wanted to do it, like we just closed on the house, let's celebrate. You know, if we did a barbecue at your house, you can invite your friends. I'd love, I'd see the investment worth it. Is I'll spend the $250 to do a barbecue at the house and get everybody together and celebrate together. I always thought pool people should do that too. You know, you put the pool in. If the people that do put the pool in, what if the pool company come back and say, let's do a pool party? It's on me. We'll do the barbecue. We'll cook the burgers. Let you just have fun. Because your friends are going to say, man, this is awesome. We need one of these. So to me, it's all about getting back here, getting back to this one-to-one, okay? So what is our homework for today? How many people need to do a better? So we got some people who are going to commit to doing videos. How many people are going to commit to doing the Viewed It videos? Okay, I look forward to seeing yours. Thank you. Thank you for volunteering. No, hey, it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up. It ain't like here. It ain't like a halfway commitment. It's all the way, okay? And we do have you on film on that, okay? So we're going to do the Viewed It, and we're going to include the nonlinear touches prior to the commitment, right? And the big takeaway from today is post-closing, we're going to go to work on the 7 touches and try to do human touches, right? I don't mind if you do some automation, but we really need to go to work on what is a great 7 touch. The highest point of referrals, the first 30, 60, 90 days after the transaction. During the transaction, during that referral zone, contract to close, and then 30, 60, 90 days after that. That's when they're hot. Problem is, most people try to go back to somebody they sold 2 years ago and get involved in their life, and it's real awkward, and I hadn't been involved, and now I need a referral from you, and it's, you got, so you may start today and go, here's the new system that I'm using, okay? Any questions? Okay, I thought we had a good day today. You guys?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.